Hey there, welcome back. I am Evelyn from evelynd.com. I am a functional medicine nutritionist and a life coach. And today I am talking about metabolism and how our emotions and our expression of our emotions and feelings more specifically can impact our metabolism. It can affect not only our mental health, but also our physical bodies. So when we're kind of scratching our heads, wondering what's going on with my hormones or what's going on with my skin or my digestion, a lot of times we're looking at, oh, what do I need to take out of my diet? Or what do I need to be adding in terms of diet or supplements or things like that? And a lifestyle as well. And we're not really going deep enough into our patterns of self-protection. And specifically, I'm talking about our tendency for most people to suppress their emotions. Not everybody, but a lot of people that struggle with either autoimmune issues or weight loss resistance or hormonal imbalances, immune dysfunction, tend to have there tends to be a correlation with emotions. And this was actually proven with the ACE studies that looked at adverse childhood events and the correlation between not only autoimmune disease, but also obesity. And it makes sense because emotions are just like food. They need to be metabolized. Metabolism and its shortest term definition is the conversion of food into energy. But just like food, and we need to chew our food, we need to swallow our food, we need to digest our food, we need to assimilate the nutrients in the food, and we need to eliminate the waste. Same goes for emotions and our feelings, our sensations in the body. They can be trapped in the tissues of the body. And that can result in lots of dysfunction, physical dysfunction and mental dysfunction, and a lot of behavioral compensations, such as overeating, over drinking, or other things that just aren't supportive of living a full, happy, kind of well-balanced life. And sometimes these things can be seen as positive, like over exercising or overworking or over cleaning your house, or whatever it is. The compensations might appear to be positive, but they usually start to manifest in physical symptoms as well. So I'm going to share something that I've shared in the post, and I shared it on Instagram and here as well, just to kind of talk through some of the visuals, just to make it a little easier to explain. So I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. And here we go. So metabolizing feelings. So our brain tends to default to protection. The mind is looking at, like, that primal survival brain is looking, always looking for, am I safe? The three things the brain wants to do, this primal part of us, this is just a human thing. It wants to avoid pain. It wants to seek pleasure, and it automates everything to make it easy. So we're conserving energy. So this is where habits and addictions come from, usually from this part of our brain. It's a compensation for feelings that we don't feel safe in expressing, or adverse events. But the adverse events usually equate to feelings, and those feelings and emotions need to move through the body. Just like food needs to be digested and assimilated and eliminated, same with emotions and feelings. So this area of focus is often overlooked when it comes to our symptoms. We're also always, especially in the functional medicine space, we're looking for the root cause, but we're looking at the biochemical root cause with all the labs and all those things. And oftentimes, unless you have a great practitioner, which I do, but if you don't have a great practitioner, you could go down an endless rabbit hole of looking for what's wrong with you, and not really circling into and going deeper into the emotional metabolism of feelings and emotions. So what we tend to do, the brain, this primal part of our brain, tends to default to protection. So a sensation in the body, a feeling comes up, an emotion in the body, or a feeling from the brain comes up, and we attempt to resist those feelings. We don't want those feelings. So we tend to resist them and suppress them. So we stuff them away, and we literally stuff them. If we're overeating over them, or we're overing and anything, we tend to stuff them away, and those get stored in the tissues. And from there, we start to layer on more of the stories and more of the rationale and the justifications and the blame and the victimhood. And this is why I'm overeating, or this is why this behavior always comes up, or I don't feel safe. It's the other person, or it's this circumstance, or whatever it is. So we tend to kind of put ourselves in the role of a victim of our circumstances. And so it just layers on top of layers on top of layers. And we lose sight, and that original feeling and emotion is just buried deeper and deeper into the layers here. And it doesn't have its full expression. So it can stay literally trapped in tissues, in fascia, in organs, in the systems of the body, and then manifest in several ways. I mean, endless ways, really, in terms of any kind of symptom, mental health issues, mood issues, hormonal imbalances, skin issues, immune issues, as well as behavioral issues like addiction, or just any kind of disordered eating, or any kind of disordered behavior. So we tend to ruminate and do this layering thing over and over again. And that's why it's really hard sometimes to pinpoint what is the real root cause of my symptoms. We tend to look at the food or the labs or, your lifestyle, and not go into that deep inner work to understand, where did this first come up for me? And a lot of times it's happening in childhood. So the way out of this is through the heart consciousness. This is our feminine energy. The masculine is more of the mind, right? Kind of the doing and the protection. The heart is where it's at in terms of actual healing this. So we're choosing here to allow the feelings to be manifested, to move through the body, to be metabolized. And it takes a little bit of practice, or maybe a lot of practice, to get to this place, because it doesn't feel safe to do so, and it doesn't feel familiar. And the brain, again, likes familiarity. It doesn't really want us to change. It wants us to keep doing what we're doing because that feels safe. So the practice of allowing the feelings to be felt really has to come from a place of trusting that you are safe. And if you're not, definitely work with a qualified practitioner, therapist, or a somatic practitioner that knows how to safely guide you through this. But if you do feel like, hey, I think I can handle this, I'm an adult now, I'm not, this 5-year-old who kind of was bullied or got yelled at by mom or dad, or whatever the situation is, I'm safe now. And you start to work with the somatic feeling in the body. You can use breath if that feels right for you. Like, it's not for everybody. And you can use other things. I use journaling a lot. And in the post, I actually have like kind of a guided meditation that you can kind of read through, and then kind of put yourself into a relaxed state and move through kind of this exercise of connecting with that inner child that didn't feel safe to feel. So you just notice, you relax, you feel into the feelings, and you allow them to come and go and be metabolized without defaulting to the protection mechanisms that are kind of like, it's a strong pathway for most of us. So for me, on my journey, it really has been like learning how to feel, learning how to deal with things like boredom or awkwardness or social anxiety, and not just, having a drink over them or eating over them or avoiding those situations so that I didn't have to feel those feelings. So I hope this makes sense. If you want to learn more, make sure you sign up for my emails. They come out about every month, sometimes every other week or so, depending on what's going on, what I'm inspired to share. And if you're watching this in August 2023, I do have a coupon code if you want to work with me one-on-one. It's only valid through August 2023, but you can use the discount. It's $100 off any package, including a renewal. So you can use that code through the end of August, and you can schedule your sessions anytime between now and March 2024. So now if you're watching this later, then forget all that. So if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Make sure that you're subscribed and like and share. And I'm really glad that you're here. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me directly, Evelyn@evelynd.com, and let me know what else you want to hear about. Talk to you soon. Bye.